Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Pop Up here. I decided to try something a little different today. And I had some requests. Some people had asked me, how do you start a survival world in Minecraft? What do you actually need to do to survive the first night? Well, my first night I spent in a hole with a block over my head, trembling, scared, hoping to survive, waiting for the sun to come back up. Well, it, after playing for a while, I discovered there's actually a little bit of a better way. Of course, where you spawn in the world does make a big difference, but no matter where you spawn, there's going to be a way to get by. Of course, if you happen to be near a village, that's almost like cheating because there's a lot of stuff in the village that you can really take advantage of. But if you don't, there's some basic things that you need to do in order to stay safe for the first night. And I hope I can show you what some of those things are. Okay, anyway, if you haven't played the game before, I suggest you go in and you start a creative world and create a creative world to go in there, play around a little while, learn your controls, and everybody likes to play with different controllers. Some people use a keyboard and a mouse, some people have a gamepad. So go in, learn what your buttons do, learn how to build, learn how to break things, learn how to move around, learn how to sprint and to crouch, and basically how your inventory works. Make sure you can know how to scroll through your items and get different items into your hand. And once you have all that basically down, you're ready to start a survival world. And of course, once you start a survival world, you're going to want to keep it a survival world so you can continue to gain all the achievements and do everything you need to do to get all the way through to beat the dragon and to beat the game and unlock an amazing way to start playing. It's like once you beat the game, that to me is actually where the game starts. But anyway, if you're ready to go, you can click that play button. Okay, you click your world tab, and you want to come down and click the big green button, create new world. Okay, that'll take you to this screen where there's a bunch of add-ons and options you can select from, but we don't care about any of that. We're just going to create a vanilla Minecraft world. So we're going to click that big green button that says create new world. Okay, and that's going to take us to the game creation screen, where the first thing we're going to want to do is give our world a name. And I'm just going to call this Pop-Pop's World. Okay, we're going to leave it in survival mode. Okay, we're never, ever, ever going to switch this game to creative because we're going to continue to collect all the achievements. Okay, and we're going to go to normal difficulty. And when we're ready, well, one more change. We're going to come down to the advanced tab, and we're going to show our coordinates. Okay, that's the only thing we're going to change because we want to see the coordinates. The world is so big, it's so easy to get lost. We want to make sure we can find our way back to our base and to any other important things that we may have found along the way. So keep yourself a little notebook where you can write down coordinates and where things are. Okay, when we're ready, click the Create tab. And once the game loads, it's going to take us to a world, and we're going to spawn in at the world spawn location, wherever that may be, like it or not. Okay, if we don't like it, we can bail out and create a whole new game and delete this one. But let's see where we're at and what we've got to work with. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is want to write down our coordinates. You can see up at the top our position is 23, 71, minus 33. Okay, the first number is our x coordinate, the middle is our y, and the last number is our z. Now you can see the whole world is made out of blocks, of course. As we move along a row of blocks, you can see one of our numbers change up top in our position, and that's our x direction. So every block has a number, and so we know where we started. We can find our way back here. Okay, if we move in the other direction, you can see our last number will change. Okay, that's our z coordinate. And those two numbers together will get us back to where we want to be. Okay, that middle number is our height. As we go up, that number will change to show us how high we are in the world. Generally, the oceans are about 62 or 64 Y level. So anyway, the first thing we're going to want to do, this is not such a bad spot. We're about at sea level here. I don't really see any coal or anything. It's nice if there are some coal blocks to get you started. But anyway, the first thing we're going to need to do is chop some wood. We're going to need some trees. We have no tools, so we're going to have to do this by hand. We just hold down that brake button until the log breaks. We don't want to leave any floating trees in Minecraft. That's an unwritten rule. It's just a bad thing to do. Always take out all the wood, and then the leaves, they'll deteriorate over time, and they'll drop things for you. Sometimes sticks, sometimes apples, sometimes saplings, and different items like that that'll come in useful later. Okay, as we break an item, it drops a block, which we can pick up and goes into our inventory. Okay, we're going to want a bunch of logs so that we can make a crafting table. That'll allow us to make more elaborate items. We can make some simple items from our inventory without a crafting table. Well, we really would like to have that sheep right there so we can make a bed. When we die in Minecraft, we will appear back at our spawn spot. That's where we'll come back until we have a bed that we've slept in, and then we'll spawn in our bed. I like to try to find a cliffside to dig in to make a little shelter for the night. Now, looks like there's a cliff over there with some rock, so I'm going to head over that way. We have some wood. Oh, we don't want to fall down there, do we? Okay, we want to be really careful. We can fall down a couple blocks, but if we fall down too many, it's going to create damage. Now, I'm going to swim over here. Sometimes there are drowned zombies in the water that will attack you. Some of them have tridents, and the tridents are very powerful. And they'll do a lot of damage. Now, the hearts you see at the bottom, that's your health. Okay, so as long as you have a full row of health, you're okay. And as you take damage, your hearts will disappear. But over time, they'll come slowly back as long as you're not hungry. Okay, now your hunger bar, there's chicken legs on the other side. As long as they're all full, your health will regenerate. Now this looks like a spot where I'm going to be able to get some coal. It's not really good terrain to be jumping around. But that's okay. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, now trick here if you haven't played before. Well, I'm just going to break a block and jump up, make a little stairway. But you can jump up and place a block down underneath of you and build your way up to a higher level. Okay. Well, for now, let's open up our inventory and we can make some planks. Okay, so we're going to take our logs and we're going to turn them into planks. Now we can keep on clicking. We're going to make a whole bunch of planks. Matter of fact, I think we're going to use just about all our logs. Well, we'll use most of our logs for now. Now you see, we've got some other items we can also make now that we have some logs. One of them is a crafting table. So if we click on the crafting table, that'll automatically fill up our crafting section with the planks so that we can make that crafting table. Now we can click on that and bring that down to our hotbar. Also, if you happen to be seeing this and you can't figure out where that recipe book is, you just click your tab up on the top and that will open up that recipe book. Anything that you see here is marked in red. It means you do not have all the ingredients that you need to make that item. So you're going to have to figure out what the other ingredients are that you need and find those. Okay, I'm just going to, for now, place down my crafting table so that I can make a pickaxe. Now, we can't make a pickaxe right now for some reason now because it's in the red. You can see that. So if we click on the red, it'll show us what we don't have. We only have one stick and we need 2 sticks to make a pickaxe. So we can come over here and select the stick and we could craft ourselves some sticks. And I'm going to make a bunch of sticks because they come in useful for a whole bunch of different items. Now I'm going to go ahead and craft ourselves a wooden pickaxe. Now that we've got the pickaxe, we could come down here and collect some of this coal. And we don't want to forget where we placed our crafting table. Now, I'm going to break some of these blocks. So that I can place them down here so we can safely get across. I'll just place one there, one there. Did I only get two? Oh, geez. Okay, well, we could get a few more. No problem. Now, as long as we got that block highlit, we can reach to the side. We can go ahead and place that block on the side. We can jump down there. Now we have a safe way down to the coal. Now we get down to the coal, we can mine that all out. We don't really need the copper for now. We could come back and get that later. For now, let's find our way back up to our crafting table. And if you have to, you can build yourself a little stairway with the blocks you've collected so far. Now look, here's a little wolf. And he's a friendly little guy. We can befriend him. If we have some bones, we can give him a bone and he'll be our friend forever. But, we don't have any bones right now. So, we can't do that. Anyway, let's see. If we get more stone, we can make a stone pickaxe. So I'm just going to chisel away some of this stone. We'll go ahead and make ourselves a shelter. And we're just going to do that, I think, right here on the cliff. I don't know why, it just seems like a very, very easy place to do it. Okay, and I'm just going to go in a few blocks. Dig out a few more. And I heard a zombie was hiding around here somewhere in the dark, and he came out trying to get us, but it sounded like he caught on fire. You know what, just for make this look a little better, I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, let's go up and get our crafting bench. Now, some blocks want to be broken with certain tools. You can see how long it took to break that crafting table. It's because it's made out of wood, and I really should be using an axe for that. But I didn't want to waste my time making a wooden axe because they don't last very long. They break very easy. You can see the little bar in my hotbar down the bottom that's turned yellow already, and eventually it's going to turn red and then it's going to break. You don't get very many uses out of it. So I'm just going to dig out a few more blocks and then we're going to make ourselves some stone tools. Okay, we'll take that crafting table that we broke, we'll place that down here. Okay, we're going to open that up again. Now that we have some coal, we should be able to make some torches. Although, why don't I see any torches in my menu? I really don't know. I really don't know why that is. Can I make a stone pickaxe? Yes, I can. So we'll make a stone pickaxe. We'll make this a little bigger. Here's a little doggy barking out there. I hear you, Wolfie. We're going to make you our friend eventually if you stick around. Now, for now, if you had to, you could just throw a block down and just keep yourself sealed in here overnight and you'd be safe, which is almost like what I did. But what we're going to do is we're going to craft some torches. I don't know why they weren't showing up before, or whether I just didn't see them. But either way, now we can place some torches. We have some light. What we could even do is craft a door. Because we have enough wood, might as well craft a door so we could see outside. And we don't have to dig our way out. So there we go. We got our first night survived. We managed to find some coal. We made some torches. We have some basic. We have to make some basic tools. We have some stone here. We don't have any food yet. I didn't pick up any food, so that's not going to help us right now. We can't sleep. We don't have a bed. But we can do overnight, instead of just sitting here trembling in fear, we could start to mine a little bit and maybe get a little bit more coal. So what I like to do is create a little hallway where I can start to make a stairway going down. You find the better ores and stuff, the deeper you go, it seems. As long as we make sure it stays light, we don't have to worry about any mobs spawning, because they could only spawn in a light level of 0. And they have to be 16 or so blocks away from us to spawn. So we don't have to worry about them spawning right next to us or right behind us. Now we found more coal. That's very important. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Now, one thing we have to be careful of when mining is lava. Sometimes there's going to be lava hiding behind these blocks. And it doesn't run that fast, and it's not like water, but it will come after you, and it will run for about 8 blocks until it stops. So you have to get about 8 blocks away if you see lava. And then you can try to place blocks down and plug the hole to keep going. Now we found a whole lot of coal here, and that's going to be very useful. Now the thing is, we don't want to walk away from this hole and leave it, because it'll be dark back here, and mobs will be able to spawn. Actually, this torch is doing a pretty good job of lighting this up, so I'm not really going to worry about it. Another thing you can do is you start collecting a lot of dirt and a lot of cobblestone and stuff. You can fill these holes back in. A lot of times I'll do that. If I'm not going that direction, or don't necessarily want that to be a big hole, just go ahead and fill it back up. There, now we're back to our stairway, and we can continue to dig. Happy with the coal we collected, because now we can make more torches. And we have fuel for a furnace. So we have some food, we could cook some food. Okay, now what I normally do is I'll just keep digging down till I get to Y level, maybe 11 or 12. And then I start to do a little strip mining. As it gets dark, just add torches. Now, you don't actually need a crafting table to make torches. There are some things you can craft by hand if you have the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and make us a bunch of torches. I'm going to continue to dig until our tool wears out. And if we're lucky, maybe we could find some iron. Now we started up pretty high because we were on top of this mountain. So you can see we're only right now down to about level 60, which is about sea level. So as we go down, we should find some better things. Now notice I'm placing my torches on the left-hand side of the wall. I do that so I don't get lost. As I'm going away, I place my torches on the left, so I know when I want to get back, I could keep the torches on my right-hand side, and that'll lead me back to where I started. Now, as you can see, our tool doesn't have very much use in it. It's getting all the way down to the red. I can hear a lot of monsters. I'm not quite sure where they are. Well, as long as they're not in here with us. Now you can see it's getting dark. But they can't spawn right here because it's too close. Once we move farther away, they could spawn in this spot. But right now, no. So I'm going to just grab this stuff. And let's climb back up top and take a look outside. See if it's daytime yet. now because we have a door, we can see out. It's still nighttime. We can hear all the mobs. So yeah, it's best don't even go outside at night unless you really have to. I don't do it. Now, of course, if you don't sleep for 3 nights in a row, the phantoms are going to come out, and that's another mob that spawns at night, and they fly. And if you're outside at nighttime, they will come and get you if you haven't slept. So you really want to try to find a bed before the third night passes. And of course, to get a bed, you're going to need some wool. So you can either shear some sheep. To do that, you're going to need some shears, which means you're going to need some iron. Or you can make yourself a sword and you can kill them. And that way you can get some meat to cook, so you have food to eat. And you can also have some wool to make a bed, as long as you have some planks. Now, what I also like to do is to make a chest. And when you have your crafting table, go ahead and make a chest. Because we only have so many inventory spaces. And there's really no reason to be carrying doors around with you, because you're not going to use those. We're probably not going to use the saplings or the leaves, so we can just click those right up into our inventory. However, we do have some stone, so that means we can make some basic stone tools. So let's make ourselves first a sword. Okay, let's make ourselves a stone axe. And let's make ourselves a stone shovel. Now, since our pickaxe is failing, we'll make ourselves a pickaxe as well. Okay, now we have basic tools. What I actually like to do is stack my planks near my wood and put my new pickaxe up on top of my other one so I can access it quickly. And this wooden one, I don't think we're going to be using that anymore, so we could open up the chest and we could put that in there. And I think I'm going to take my logs and make more planks, many as I can. Okay, so that's what we do overnight. If we look outside, we can see the sun starting to come up. So we can go roam around outside to see if we can find some sheep so we can get some wool and make a bed and have some food to eat. And we could look around, see what else we can find around here. For now, we have our little mine, and if it bothers us that it's open and we're afraid something may come out of there, which nothing should spawn down there because we have a lot of light, but we can go ahead and add a door to our mine. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end it for now. So this is Pop Pop in his little one-night survival shelter, and we made it. We made it through the first night. No big scares. It was pretty easy. We got some wood. We made ourselves a crafting table and made ourselves a wooden pickaxe. Next thing we did is broke some stone, and we found some coal, and then we made some stone tools, and we were able to take the coal and make some torches, and we did started a little bit of a mine. So anyway, that's I think what you could do on your first night instead of hiding in a hole like I did with a block over my head. Anyway, I'm Pop Up. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, well, it's daytime. We'll go outside, look around, try to find ourselves some sheep. Until then, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.